What's up, everybody? My name is Jordan, and we got Ridge here with me,
Going on, y'all?
and we are Far Side of the Pod. Today, we're finally back for another theme park and all that update, and we haven't really been around for this because honestly, we just kept forgetting to get to it, or when we would want to get into it, something would get in the way of it. So, we apologize for taking so long for another update, but we're here. Um,
And that's all that matters.
Yeah, it's all that matters. Um, so let's start this off on a one that's close to home. So Dollywood was just voted on TripAdvisor for the number one amusement park in the country, and I think that's awesome. Which is it's crazy compared beating out Disney and Universal and Epic Universe and everything else that's in the world, well in the country, and Dollywood got voted number one out of all of them. It's crazy to think because we grew up with Dollywood, so like to us it doesn't feel like something that's that special. But when you look at it from an outsider's point of view, I get it. I honestly get why it would be so big and everything. So I think it's cool that Dollywood got voted number one.
Yeah, I find it really interesting. And fair warning, real quick, is disrupt or to get off track slightly. If I cut in and out, been having a little bit of technical issues on my side, so apologies in advance if I randomly do. But we'll run through it all. But to get back on topic, um, yeah, I find it cool that Dollywood managed to get number one country over the likes of Disney World and Universal Studios and the Six Flags and like every name brand out there. The fact that Dollywood got it, it really is incredible. And I guess, like you said, we take it kind of for granted since we live here in the state, and that's just been able to go to on more than one occasion. And I guess it just sitting in our backyard and seemingly kind of seeming like the same layout for every day, but with like occasional almost every year there's something new added.
Yeah.
But it's always felt the same still. So I guess it's just one of those things like we take it for granted. It when you're on the outside looking in, I'm sure it really is just that much more of an incredible park, especially since it's in the mountains too. I think that's
Yeah.
one of the bonuses it gets.
Well, think about like being on like rides like Blazing Fury, not Blazing Fury. What's that fire roller coaster that goes through the
Which one?
mountain?
Yeah,
Um,
so the mountain.
so the guy. Well, first of all, like Wild Eagle, with that drop it has, that pretty much takes you to the top of the mountain and shows you the view and just drops you down.
Well, Wild Eagle sitting there pretty well. The rides I can think of that sits inside, like, or into the mountain like that, or hills. I don't know what it is in the Smoky Mountain part, right? Uh, like you said, Wild Eagle, Lightning Rod takes in
Lightning
quite a
Rod.
great view.
Lightning Rod was what I was meaning.
Yeah, Lightning Rod. It's one of those. It's a rarity of a coaster too. I mean, sure they've changed the track layout and slightly made it different, but still overall a great ride. Um, and there's just so much to, like we said, there's so much to take in when you're there. Even like the drop tower that they have gives you a great couple of seconds of a view of everything that's around there. Used to in the same area that the drop tower was at, it was a little spinning ride called Timber Tower,
Yep.
and even then, you got a great spin around view of everything. And you also have the train that takes you on a ride around pretty much the whole entire park, just about. Take it that view has changed over our years, and we've discussed our feelings on it before. But still, to outsiders and to people that didn't grow up seeing it certain ways, still find it incredible to this day.
And honestly, Tennessee Tornado still is technically really underrated roller coaster.
Well, I mean, Tennessee Tornado still stands as a cult classic to
Right.
coaster enthusiasts because of how it's built. It was the first one really to be built in around the trees and everything, compared to Wild Eagle and Rod. Those came afterwards, but the first one to introduce this idea to be built into the beauty in Dollywood was Tennessee Tornado, and it has just stood the test of time,
Yeah.
which is really surprising too. I mean, just the fact of how long that coaster's been there. That one in Thunderhead, I like a little bit least. It's really jarring of a ride if you're a type of person that gets jarred around.
I'm not the biggest fan of wooden roller coasters.
I like them, but like there's only certain types that I like because let's say for example, another close one to home for us is Cannon down at Lake Winnie. I can handle that one all day.
I don't know. I can't ride Cannonball, man.
I,
Last time I rode
I
that,
can
I thought
handle.
I was about to get decapitated, bro.
That is the only thing about it. Is just at certain points it just don't feel 100% right on that ride. But at the same time, it's just one of those that it's the old school classic fun type of coaster. And I guess you just gotta have a certain taste for wooden coasters. And like another wooden coaster that I find great that I've had the opportunity to ride was the up in Ohio.
The what?
That wooden coaster
You said the
is
Beast?
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I've gotten to ride that one before. And that one it wasn't jarring as much. It had a lot smoother of a ride. And it was also it's one of them like it's one of those rides that built into the environment too, but it's a wooden track, so it just makes it feel that much more awesome, I guess, and just how massive it is. But either way, just I guess the certain rides and vintageness to Dollywood really helps it, and it's hard to find that anymore.
Yeah. And honestly, you know, the food there is crazy too, so.
The food is really good there,
All right.
especially cinnamon bread.
All right, so on to the next part. We're talking about some Epic Universe. And the main thing we got to talk about with Epic Universe is that they announced that they are bringing plus size seats to some of the rides. I guess they're going to test out a couple and see how they work out and see what they can do with them and try to get some up. And, you know, this is something big for me as somebody who's been saying for years. And honestly, you could probably go back to a few of our videos of me saying that they need to make seats for bigger people.
That was on our first thing
Yeah.
edition episode was that was something that we would love to see be included, and you know, like you said, it's awesome to see it being included.
Yeah.
Now I will start out too to be a little bit of a Debbie Downer for some. I don't know how big their plus size seats be and what they take as plus sized. If that makes any sense for y'all, because there's certain people that they see plus size only being up to I don't know
3X.
right 3x size, and you know slightly big versus actual big, but you know just that they're willing to take the steps and that they've heard from multiple different people outcry for, hey, we want to be included too, and we want to be able to ride these rides. Sure, we can all try to lose weight, but it's just as easy for us to lose weight as it is y'all to just figure out the mathematic possibility to add these seats in, you know? So it's really cool that they decided, hey, you know, we can try to reach it to a certain level of we can try this plus size so that way we can include more. So that's really cool.
So the rides that they are looking to add the plus size seats to is the Yoshi ride, whatever it's called, and Star Chaser. So I mean, if the seats are big enough and we get to go, I'm definitely going to try out Star Chaser.
I definitely think it'd be awesome. Yeah, I just hope that with this new system that's being put in, more people are able to ride it, including you.
All right, so through with Epic Universe and on to Halloween Horror Nights. We're just gonna bring up all the official houses for Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando, and we're starting with Five Nights at Freddy's. We also got the Horror of the Hyatt Six. We got Terrifier, Jason Universe, Fallout, Hatchet and Chains, Demon Bounty Hunter, Dolls Let's Play Dead, Grave of Flesh, Galkin's Monsters of the North, and El Artista, A Spanish Haunting. All I say is I'm hearing crazy things about the Terrifier house, being that you'll be able to smell nasty stuff and good stuff, and apparently you're going to be showered on blood, and apparently, like, if you don't want that, they're going to have an alternate ending. So it's going to be cool. It's sad that I have to miss it. I really am.
Well, as I've told you, I am. We're going to try to. I've already discussed it with my lady, and we are going to try to make a weekend trip down there so that way we can experience it. I told her, I said, there's at least a few houses I want to try to get. One, I want to try to go through a Terrifier house, obviously. And the fact that it's going to be even more gory and sound that wild, like we going to possibly get showered in blood, it's incredible. Also, I gotta go through the Five Nights at Freddy's house.
Yeah, sure.
Because it's just an awesome movie, and especially with the second one that's coming out, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to how they have I'm looking forward to their theming, and I look forward to running into these animatronics in person. Because just how terrifying they'll probably just, like, I'm just imagining, like, Springtrap and how he'll look, you know.
Yeah.
Just different things that will be going on. And, of course, running into Freddy, that'll be wild. And obviously, in my top three, it has to be going through the horrors of the Wyatt Six. Yeah. I mean, just being able to see, it's going to be terrifying. Yeah, really. But at the same time, there's going to be a emotional part to it. Just because this is something that Bray wanted, you know?
Yep.
I'm sure you've seen it, Slater, where he's had a post up on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, of how he wanted to do a house. And he said, let's do it, I'm down.
Yep.
Man, to know, like, I obviously think that we'll see the Fiend in the house, but there's just something to it all that's going to bring that emotional level to it. Like, it's going to be terrifying and emotional
the whole time you're walking through there. Ding, 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 ding.
Just hearing that piano being pinged the whole time will add that much more to it. And like, you don't have to play the whole song while going through it. Maybe like it would be incredible if at the very end, sure, you could end off with a big scare, and maybe you ended off with the big scare of the Fiend. But I honestly would love to just have a spot and like have it at the end where the Fiend is up above the exit way, staring down at everybody as we go out with fireflies all around him.
Yeah.
That would just be. I honestly think I'm going to try to get through that house first, just that way if I do have any emotions, I get that out the way first, and I'm not trying to do that.
What if instead of the Fiend at the end of it, it was just Bray?
Well, I mean, the reason why I'd want it to be more so the Fiend is that way we have an actual figure there, right?
Right.
Because if you have it being just Bray at the end, either A, you're going to have to do the same thing that WWE did, showing it just the outline of him, or it's going to be a screen of him.
Right.
But I don't know. Like I said, it's one of those things that's going to be kind of emotional, but terrifying. And as long as they, and I know that they'll do it right, but as long as they can get it all packed in there, I think I'll be okay. Even if we don't get some good little trivia at the end and we get scared at the end, I'll be fine with that. Just getting to see his dream come true, that's what matters.
Yeah.
And also the fact that they're including the WWE into HHN. That's wild.
Yeah, it is. Alright, you got anything else about HHN you want to talk about?
I hope I can get down there, and I look forward to it, and I'll let everyone know how it goes.
Yeah. And I'm sure we'll do like our own reviews, like once we get to watch like the walkthroughs and shit like that as well. So.
Oh yeah.
So for sure. So on to the next topic, we're going to get on to the Disney side of things. And I guess we're going to talk about some like closings and what's going to be replacing those things closing. So starting with the Animal Kingdom. First off, we got Dino USA is going out, and it looks like it's being replaced by Encanto.
It is so. The Dino USA or Dino Rama, whatever the fuck it's called, is completely demolished. It's leveled, that whole area. So that is obviously officially closed. And the Encanto, I imagine this is going to be a dark ride of the sorts, obviously, because we're going to be inside their house. I don't know what kind of dark ride I want it to be, though. Because there's a part of me that says the obvious answer should be a boat ride. And that's what it looks in the concept art. But at the same time, I kind of want the same ride through system that, like, for Spider-Man Transformers.
Yeah.
I kind of want that too for that ride. So that way it can have certain times where it gets quicker,
Right.
What do you think? Anything?
I think I can get where you're coming from, and imagine like you could be like going in and out of the bedrooms of the house. Because like they have like different lands or different worlds or whatever.
Right. And like where I think of going into Bruno's room, you have the giant things of sand all around and the giant like random drop, right?
Right.
So let's say we start to randomly fall in. Well, that way we could actually have a way to fall in or seem like we're falling in if we have the that type of ride system for it.
All right.
I don't know. There's a bunch of different things that I can do, I guess.
I get it. Next up on the list looks like dinosaurs getting closed out for Indiana Jones.
Yep. I don't know when that ride's supposed to officially be closing. I know it's very soon, if not already. I think they're still counting it down, and they're calling it, believe it or not, they're calling it the countdown to extinction,
Right.
which is kind of funny. The Indiana Jones ride, obviously, if you don't know, it's the same track layout pretty much as the dinosaur ride. As the dinosaur ride has the same track layout as the Indiana Jones ride in Disneyland. It's just it was themed different. So it's a real easy switch pretty much because they're not having to really rebuild any of the track. They're just having to bring in new theming. And the big thing I'm hoping with this is that they somehow still fit in dinosaurs
Right.
or bring in dragons. Because if you get rid of the dinosaurs from Animal Kingdom, you're taking out that, and there's already no sign really other than I think an old rock of a dragon. And so that kind of sucks, considering the fact that those were two of the two main animals that's supposed to be in Animal Kingdom, because it was supposed to cover every single type of animal, including fantasy animals. Because, like, if you look at the Animal Kingdom sign, as you come in, you see that it has an elephant, giraffe, think a zebra or some shit. It has a dragon and a dinosaur.
Right.
Even like on the main, like one of the ticket booths, I think it is, it has a dragon's head on it. But whenever you go into Animal Kingdom, the closest thing that they have right now to a dragon's a banshee over in Avatar. So hopefully they can figure out a way to either include dragons or include dinosaurs, so that way we can just replace them if need be, you know?
Yeah.
So
Um,
that's the main thing.
and last up for Animal Kingdom, it looks like It's Tough to Be a Bug will be closing for a Zootopia show.
Yeah, so that one is, if you don't know where It's Tough to Be a Bug at, it sits underneath the Tree of Life. So they're going to be closing off the bottom side of the Tree of Life and replacing one 4D show with another, because it has 4D aspects to it. It also has an animatronic, so I imagine that they're going to be changing out. Well, it has, I think, 2 animatronics in there. I can't remember the bugs' names. It has one of the ant and then one of the grasshopper. I think, no shit, I think the grasshopper's name's Hopper, if I ain't mistaken. It's something that Brittany would know right off the top of her head. But they're replacing, or they'll be replacing those more than likely as well. So expect a couple of different things. But other than that, the main big thing is replacing the show itself and what you're watching on the screen. I don't imagine that's going to be that long of a closure, just because it's replacing one short film with another short film, pretty much.
Right.
So,
Well,
yeah.
all right, so on to Hollywood Studios. We got the Rock and Rollin' roller coaster. It closes out to make way for a Muppet coaster.
So, as far as I know, if I remember correct, and I'm probably wrong, but Rock and Roller Coaster should already be closed.
Yeah, I think it's already the Muppet roller coaster, but I've heard that people didn't like it, and I heard that they were talking about going back to Rock and Roller Coaster.
I have not heard anything on that coaster being remodeled yet. I've heard that they've got it closed, but no movement has happened yet
Right.
on the retheme inside. When they do retheme it, I'm kind of curious on what all they're going to do for it, because I know obviously it's based around. And do you know the name of the band? Because I don't.
What, the one that it was themed off of?
No, the Muppets band.
Oh no, I don't remember.
That's
The one that
that's the
Adam was the
main.
drummer for.
Yeah. That's the. It's Electric Mayhem.
Something like that.
I know it's something Mayhem. I think it's Electric Mayhem. Uh, I know that's the main thing that they're replacing it with is Electric Mayhem, and they're going to stick in some other Muppets themes. To what extent, I don't know, but that's what we're going to get. I don't see them or ever closing it again to bring back in Aerosmith. I just don't see that happening. If they ever was to close it again, they're going to close it and bring in a completely different ride.
Right.
But so be expecting the Muppets to take over at some point, and we'll let you know when it does happen, or more so after it's happened, we'll let you know about it and what we think and all that fun stuff.
All right. Then after that, also speaking of the Muppets Courtyard was recently closed and already under reconstruction for Monsters Inc.
Yeah, so the whole courtyard is completely gone, and Muppet Vision 3D is no longer a show there no more. So if you go trying to look for it, don't expect it to be there. There has been rumors about them eventually bringing it back, and if they do, they'll be putting it behind Rock and Roller Coaster at a where they have a villain show at right now. But the biggest thing I can think that they'll actually ever do with Muppet Vision 3D is just put it on Disney Plus. That's where I see it staying, unless they somehow, decide, hey, yeah, this is something that the fans really want back, and we're willing to bend a little bit and give them something back. So, which would be really cool too, because it's not like there is anything that they have ever gotten rid of and brought back per se.
Right.
So that'd be interesting to see. But we are getting the Monsters Inc. land in that area. We're getting a Monsters Inc. roller coaster based around the doors, like a door coaster. It looks pretty cool from what I've seen of concept arts and models. Looks pretty cool. Look forward to that. And I think the other big thing I look forward to is dining at that, I think, Japanese restaurant or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's the other big thing I look forward to with that land for sure. So I'm slightly looking forward to that.
All right. And the last thing we got for the parks, looks like Tom Sawyer Island is now closed and will be replaced by, what'd you say, Piston Peak?
Yep, it's called Piston Peak. Piston Peak. Goodness, if I can talk.
And then eventually behind it, make way for Villain Land.
Yep. So I know work has started in that area. I don't think that they've brought in any dirt to fill in the Rivers of America yet. I think that's what they call it, the little canal or whatever you want to call it right there. But the ferry's out, the water's gone, and they're demolishing things that are on the island, and they're going to get started soon on this Piston Peak. And if you don't know what Piston Peak is, it's a new it's a new idea based around cars. So we'll be getting a new little area of a new Cars Land that isn't really fitted to Route 66. It's fitted around Yellowstone, I guess, and other out west like Colorado and the Rocky areas more so.
Yeah.
And it'll be really interesting to see, I think. I'm curious on their main attraction. It's supposed to be some type of car racing mechanism. It's going to be different from the one that they have out in Disneyland, obviously. So that'll be curious to see for sure. I think I like it. Something else too I've heard here recently, and this is heavy rumors right now is what I'm going to label it as, because I haven't heard it come straight from Disney. They are working on making a spin-off TV series of Cars.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now, take it, we've had shorts. We've had TV short series on Disney Plus, but we never have had like full-on TV series, if that makes any sense.
Right.
So who knows? Maybe we'll see Piston Peak pop up in. If this TV show does happen, we might get to see Piston Peak pop up there. So that way we get a little bit of an idea as to what we're getting ourselves into. So that'd be cool. And then obviously, Villains Land will in the future of the expansion, we'll be getting the Villains Land. Looking forward to that for sure. We don't have really anything set in stone to go off of. There's concept art, but it's concept art. You can't trust it. It's called blue sky art to them, which means nothing's fully set in stone. They have a picture of a roller coaster, but who knows if that roller coaster will stay like that or not. So we'll keep an eye out and stay updated on that, and I'll look forward to that land as well, because this has been something that everyone's been wanting for a long time.
Yep. And lastly, for the last thing on the park update video is not really if, is what more could Disney do with Marvel in the Florida parks? Ridge, I'll let you kick off with that.
Yeah, sure. So I got a few different ideas, and you can just bounce off my ideas if you want to, or if you think of anything as we go along, just let me know and chime in. All right. So my first idea, and I've talked to you about this before, I think it's been a while back, but I think one of the big things that they should do is bring in the Black Panther to Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
I've said for years, I've had an idea for the longest that they should take where they're doing the Lion King show at right now, they should take that show and move it either to where they're doing a Finding Nemo show at right now, or take it elsewhere to do the show, right? But keep it in Animal Kingdom, obviously. But then replace that show with a show of maybe Shuri becoming the Black Panther, right? And where she goes into where I can't think of how to explain it, so you might have to help me out. Where whenever they drink the
heart-shaped earth, they go to the incense plane.
Yep. And so that way, and like there's different Black Panthers around the tree.
Yeah.
And we have one that comes up to her that is supposed to symbolize her brother. It's like an emotional experience for everyone there.
Yeah.
You know, they can add in puppetry, maybe a little bit of acrobatics. I don't know how, but it'd be a really cool thing. Or if they didn't do it there, I think another great spot to do something like that would be underneath the Tree of Life.
Yeah.
Because it just makes sense that we're underneath the Tree of Life, so why not have a show showing something to do with life underneath there, you know? So,
Or they go just balls to the wall and build a whole Wakanda.
yeah, I mean that's an idea too, but my only issue with that is there's not it I don't think from whenever I've looked at it, there's not enough space over there in the Africa area to do that. Just because that would be sitting like you would have to they have the safari already right there.
Right.
And that takes up a shit ton of room. So I don't know if they'd be able to fit in a Wakanda
Right.
themed area too. So that's the reason why I try to keep it as minimal to a show. Now, take it too, you could just randomly decide, hey, let's go over this way and expand a little bit and build a whole new section
Right.
to make a Wakanda area in of itself. But I don't know. I think it just make more sense to try to just keep it in the Africa area as is.
Yeah.
And just do a simple show or something.
Yeah. Or they could have like a. They could just build like a small thing, or it could be like called the Wakandan Outpost, and they can do like little meet and greet pictures with Shuri and stuff like that there.
Yeah, that'd be cool,
like
but
in the Dora Milaje or maybe in Baku, stuff like that.
well, I mean, you could have people dress up as T'Challa too, right? Because they'd just be in the Black Panther suit. But at the same time, I don't know. I guess while yeah, you can always do that. You can do that with any superhero, right?
Right.
I'm trying to think of different ways to actually like include them in more so, like give an experience around them.
Well,
that's my whole thing.
That kind of goes to my thing is maybe, and this is just off the top of my head. I don't know what the park like layout blueprint whatever is, but like what if like somewhere in Tomorrowland we can have like a Stark Industries thing where it's not directly Avengers, but it's like a Stark Tech Expo thing.
Now, you're onto something because that is one of my ideas too, is somehow to fit in Iron Man into Tomorrowland.
Right.
And there's only if they didn't expand out Tomorrowland, right now there's only two different spots I can see. Either A, you do something with the Tomorrowland Speedway and make it Stark based, you know?
Right.
I don't know how much that would work, or if you could just tear that out and put in something completely different right there. Or you take where they had the Stitch, the Stitch Rod. I can't remember what it's called, but all that is pretty much a little show area where you could have a Iron Man's animatronic right in front of you, you know, standing on this platform. Or maybe you have a Tony Stark animatronic showing you different ideas and things that are projected around this whole area, right?
Right.
Or you have some like Tony Stark being shown on the screen as he's showing us a test on something, but something goes wrong, causing this this outbreak, and we're stuck in the middle of it pretty much.
Right.
Same as like with the Stitch. I think it's called Stitch Great Escape or something like that. Something Escape. But they have a screen showing people or the aliens, and then they would bring in Stitch. They was able to teleport Stitch in the whole room. He somehow would break the glass open. All of a sudden, the power would go out, and Stitch would just go around messing with people, right?
Right.
And even back whenever it was alien encounters, you had people on the screen to bring in an alien, teleport an alien in, and then to teleport it away eventually, but the alien would break out to mess with you too.
That sounds like something you could do with Guardians, honestly.
Well, I guess the reason why you would think that too is because of Mission Breakout. Well, my idea with Doctor Strange is I feel like he would fit into Epcot better.
Right.
Like somehow with either the environment or because whenever you think of Doctor Strange, you think, well, if I was thinking of Doctor Strange in Epcot, it's more so of a learning place. Right. But also, if you want to try to bring in something, some sort of show or something, you have Doctor Strange, maybe teaching us something with the mystic arts or whatever, and like the importance of doing things the right way or whatever, Right. So that's where I'd place him. The other thing too, though, that I have, and it also would fit in Tomorrowland, maybe. And the only reason why I say maybe is because I don't know if they're considered with, in the whole Universal Park versus Disney Park thing. But the Fantastic Four put them in Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
I don't know how you would, but I also see it being the possible you have them doing something inside that same showroom where Stitch was at. But between Iron Man and the Fantastic Four, I think they make the most sense in Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
Black Panther could fit into Animal Kingdom. And I think Doctor Strange would fit in well with Epcot. I'm curious, and those were really the only ones I could think of. Unless you somehow...
I can't think of anything else.
The only other one that I can think of, but I don't know where you would put him really, would be Captain America.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would be something you would put in Magic Kingdom. No. Oh, I have it. So you could do a whole Avengers thing in Hollywood Studios.
Right.
So since we're getting in this Indiana Jones ride at Animal Kingdom,
right,
you take out the Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular show at Hollywood Studios, and you put in an Avengers stunt show there.
Yeah.
Or just a Captain America stunt show.
Yeah.
Because you can't use the Hulk and you can't use Spider-Man.
Like the Captain America and the Winter Soldier thing.
Right. But you could also be able to include like the Black Widow.
Yeah.
You could fit in certain characters
Nick
that
Fury
are
stuff like that.
You could fit in Nick Fury, you could fit in Hawkeye if you wanted to.
Yeah.
You could fit in different people that are more so ground level heroes.
Yeah.
That doesn't include Spider-Man just because of the misfortune with the whole Universal and Disney agreement thing with fucking Florida. It's stupid. But anyways, I digress. Hopefully that will one day change. Yeah. But anyways, I think that'd be a cool way, so that way you could include more characters into one spot instead of having them all spaced out too.
Right.
So, I think that'd be a really cool way to also include them, and you could do a lot with a stunt show with the superheroes.
Yeah.
I don't know who you would have them take on. Would you just do another version of Loki?
Probably just because he's the most popular.
And so that way you could also be able to include Thor?
Yeah.
Or would you just, or would something like Thor, would you just also include with Doctor Strange over in Epcot?
True.
Huh.
I don't know.
That's something we could think on more, I guess.
Yeah.
Is if that show was real, or if we had our own version of this stunt spectacular show featuring the Avengers, what all would we include in it?
Right.
We might have to come up with that.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I got, man.
Yeah,
You got anything else?
No, that's it. All right, guys. Well,
Did we?
what'd you say, Rich?
Go ahead. No, you're good.
I was just gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, no, you're good. I was going to ask something that can be afterwards.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you for sticking around to the video. Thanks for, if you've been waiting for a park update video. Sorry it took so long with life and everything. Just, we grown folk, so stuff gets in the way all the time. But
Shit happens, man.
yep. But we appreciate you guys, and we thank you for sticking around. See you in the next one.
See you.